Soto left the Yankees game against the Twins last night with forearm tightness, and everybody went,
oh, sweet, merciful Jesus.
oh, no. And they said that he would undergo an MRI today, Juan Soto.
It's crazy how fast professional sports teams get MRIs, isn't it?
The MRI game has changed dramatically, because I remember getting MRIs like
3 weeks.
It would be like, yeah, we'll get you like in a month. It'd be like, I kind of have a sense of urgency here.
It's weird. My knee is the size of a watermelon right now. Could you please get me in there?
Nah, we'll see that. Whatever. Like we
need the swelling to go.
I had an MRI on my back last fall, and it was like, or last summer, and it was like instantaneously. Like I got home and I had an email, and I was like, oh wow, look at that.
It's crazy. Like
my back's screwed.
Literally, but by the time you get home, you said you can have an email with your MRI. Like they have it done in 20 minutes now, which is like,
crazy.
It's so great.
Technology, awesome.
You know,
here's one for science. Way to go, guys.
Here's two quick examples.
Gals.
Figuring out my hip. They literally like, have you ever had an X-ray of your hip? And I was like, no. We went to the room next door, took the X-ray. I walked back in, and he pulled it up on his computer.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That and when they did the cortisone shot in my hip, I got to watch it live on like a 60-inch monitor next to me.
That's something I don't want to watch.
It was weird to watch them drive an 8-inch needle into my hip.
Juan Soto got his MRI today, and it has revealed just inflammation, so you can exhale just. Now it is, how long is this thing going to take? Because Soto said it's been bothering him for a week or two. He's had that forearm tightness, but it never prevented him from operating. And if this dude has been hurt for a week or two, I saw him rip a home run at Yankee Stadium about a week and a half ago that the ball was just a laser beam.
Tell me that's not a dude that's worth the price of admission.
He is, 100%.
I mean,
and he's leading the American League in average. He is fourth in home runs in the AL. He is second or third in RBI in the AL this year. Third in RBI, and he bats second for the New York Yankees. He has 53 ribbies, and he's the number 2 hitter for the New York Yankees because, I don't know, this guy, Aaron Judge, ever heard of him?
Scumbag.
Yeah, he hits right behind him, and he has 54 RBI this year. So he is absolutely worth every single penny that they are paying him this year. And look, Juan Soto, he wants the Ohtani money. He's not going to get the Ohtani money.
Which
he's going to get about half $1 billion, though.
That's the thing is, like, it's Soto's kind of, maybe this is a little bit of bias in me, but he feels very much like Albert Pujols in his prime, where everybody knew how great he was, but nobody really talked about how great he is. Like, Juan Soto's early career so far, like, the only guys who have been better hitters than him have names like Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio. Like, what he is doing on an like his was it 2 years ago? I was like, oh, he's having a down year. If you look at all the advanced numbers, it's still like a top 50 season of all time.
Yeah, he
is
really
insanely good, and he's what, 24 now?
Is that how old he is?
He's still
young.
23 or 24.
He's young as hell.
God, he seems like he's been around forever
because he came in at 18.
He has. Yeah, he's 25.
Yeah, he's still like
gracious.
He's still so young in baseball.
Yeah. Well, good news is just inflammation in the forearm. So, like, anytime you hear, like, forearm tightness, you're going, oh, no. Is this UCL? Is this going to be Tommy John? Whatever. It's far less limiting for a guy who's an outfielder and a hitter than it is a pitcher, obviously, who relies on velocity and torque on that forearm. But you still have that fear because the surgery is going to put you down and have him out. Turns out, just some inflammation. Panic in the streets can't subside for a while, and the Yankees are really damn good at baseball.
Catching a lot of breaks this year, aren't they? This feels like the Yankee magic. It's kind of back. As a Mariners fan, I hate that, but I feel it, and I don't like it.
Not as much luck as the Phillies are catching, where like they're finally playing teams over 500. They went from the first series of the season until last weekend. They had not played a team over 500.
Oh, cupcakes, baby.
Not a single team over 500.
It's good for you.
What are we doing here?
And
It's great for you.
our Seattle Mariners have a very similar stretch coming up over the next 2 months.
Oh, do they? They got one of those?
They got a lot of very, very mediocre to crappy teams. Now, let's hope that when they do start beating those crappy teams, that Jerry DiPoto doesn't use that as an excuse to say, oh, the offense is done, but I digress.
Well, I mean,
Yankees are
firing
good.
the hitting coach was pretty big jump for them.
I mean, it puts pressure on Scott Service.
You
That's for
scored
sure.
19 runs in the series following you firing your hitting coach, and you're going, oh,
Yeah,
all
but
right.
then you turned right around
Times are
and
good.
you lose 2-1.
Times are
to
bad.
Oakland. So yeah.
Well, you never know. Maybe it was the smell of raw sewage that kind of threw him off in that
Which
2-1 game.
it does leak up, man.
Big time.
It's backed up on the field more than a few times. Can you imagine sliding on that field?
Well, no, it's in the dugouts and like the batter's circle in foul territory.
Well, they had
is
it
where
on
it
the field.
goes.
Oh God, when the Raiders were there, they had to rip the field back.
Really?
Yeah, I want to say that was like early 2000s. They had an issue where it backed up on the field.
Wow.
It really was an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, and that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, and you thought the biggest turd was the owner.
Well,
Turns out it's not.
turns out Mark Davis, not the biggest problem.
No, I was talking John J. Fisher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't talking Mark Davis.
Oh yeah.
Mark Davis, Tommy Boy tries his hardest.
He does.
You know?
He does. You know what? He is actually Tommy Boy. He does care. He just makes mistakes. Like he genuinely cares.
Yeah. At least he's not trying to do exactly what his dad did. Somebody's gotten into his ear like,
Stop trying to be your dad
don't just draft the fastest player.
or the biggest arm quarterback.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
Got that going for
Yeah.
him.
They tried that for 5-7 years, and it's going to haunt my life.
All right.
So there you go.
You don't say.